Hey guys, welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your September 14th reading for the sign of Scorpio, and happy birthday to all of you Scorpios out there. I have one that's out there mentioning his birthday today, so happy birthday to you. Let's get started and see what your week is looking like. Happy Monday, Scorpio. All right, here we go. Game on. Let's give us a quick shuffle. All right, here we go. First card out the gate is Eight of Swords. So Scorpio's feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and that has to do with it's kind of like that sensation of being in a batting cage. Okay, it's like things are coming faster than you can kind of manage. A little bit. Oh, that's not helping. There we go. Not working. Well, anyways, as I'm looking at these cards, the first thing that comes up, like I said, is the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is feeling a little overwhelmed. And when you're feeling overwhelmed, it's very hard to come from a place of solution. So for example, if you have too many errands to run and too many things going on, it's really difficult to catch up to the things that, certain things needing attention start to lose their edge a little bit. I am seeing lots of anxiety for Scorpio right now. This is overwhelm in a different way. So one of these is having activities that is too much for you. And then the other one is true like anxiety and just like your nerves. I'm seeing the Six of Cups, which is celebration. So in the middle of all this, there might be some celebration for you, Scorpio. There possibly might be a move for some of you because we are seeing the Seven of Coins. And the Seven of Coins, it's a small move, not something that would indicate you're going across the country or anything like that. But this Seven of Coins indicates a shift, or it could be something within an office, emptying a storage unit, moving across town, buying a house, etc. I do see the King of Cups. So the King of Cups for us is one of those energies that reminds us that, talks about EQ, being aware of your emotions, because I'm seeing you have the Empress, the High Priestess, and the King of Cups. All of those indicate emotions. So when I talk about emotions, it doesn't necessarily mean bad ones. It just means full of emotions. It feels as if Scorpio's navigating these well. And I do see some celebration for you. We have the Sun card, which means things coming into balance. So even though you feel as if things were a little wonky in the beginning, because our back row here talks about that overwhelm, talks about having, feeling like you've got too much on your plate and the pace moving quicker than you feel like you could do without. But I do see that Scorpio is building a strong foundation with the Four of Wands. You're building some pillars in your life that's going to serve you in the long run. I do see the Moon card. You do have, and of course, it's your birthday, you have the Star card, which indicates that you're paying attention to the heavenly bodies. You're paying attention to the divine path that you have. Like, what's fate have to do with it? What's the strings that are being pulled in my life, and in what direction am I going? We also have the Empress card, which is Empress is all about your energy having to do with protection. So if you have children, or if you're the one that takes care of your home, just a very protective energy in that kind of way. So we have the Empress, we've got the Moon card, we've got the High Priestess. So for Scorpio right now, this is all about you having these like emotions bubbling up. And I would suggest that some of it might even have to do with some past healing or traumas that are going on, because this is those things that come up to the surface, right? So the Empress, the Star card, what does the universe have to do for me? The High Priestess, which is your intuition, the King of Cups, which is your emotion, and then we have the Moon card, which is fear, and it's also planning for the future. The Moon card is that card that reminds us to take a look at where we're going. In particular, this card in this deck. Now, as I teach tarot, I remind you guys that each deck has its own flavor, okay? Just cake isn't always just cake. It can have different flavors. So the flavor of this deck likes to talk about mapping. She's literally between two pillars of knowledge, the light and the dark. She's looking back at where she's come from, and she's taking a good, strong look at where she's at and moving forward. And I always say this mapping card, and I love to use this analogy, but sorry if it gets annoying, but mapping, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you are. So taking stock of yourself, but knowing you have to make some changes that are going to be difficult. You have the crab there, which, the crab is about fear. You can get pinched a little bit. So I do want to not focus on all this negativity. And, sometimes these emotions can come up for us and start to you know, dredge up worthiness issues. And I don't know why I'm talking about worthiness issues, but that's what's coming out of my mouth. So when we have these worthiness issues or these past experiences that we've had and mistakes that we've made, we make these comparisons of where we should be. And I always say, don't should yourself. You can make a mess when you should yourself. So, you know, there might be a lot of these moral compass recalibrations going on for you. But I want you to know that amongst all of these emotions in this upheaval, we have the Sun card, which references, you know, things coming into balance. So we have the Nine of Wands here, okay, which is about building that foundation and moving forward, right? But this is about your structure here and your foundation as a whole. So this is the cement, and this is starting to build the framework. You're not going to flesh anything out overnight. But I do see the Six of Swords, which tells us things are going to get significantly easier for you, like a storm breaking, okay, or a lightning strike. I just want you to hold the line, Scorpio. Things are looking beautiful for you on the other side, but it's kind of hard to see the light amongst the rain and the clouds and the lightning and all the other distracting things, the wind that's going on. Think hurricane karma, okay? So, like I said, Six of Swords, things getting a little easier, the blades pointing away from you. And then we have the Star card right here. And this is about like being aligned with where you're supposed to be. So let's pull some cards for you from my Mystic Dreamer deck, and then we'll do a Divinations of the Ancients card. For those of you on my other social media platforms, come find me on YouTube, Karma on Deck. You can see the cards picture in picture. And your weekly readings will be up there if you missed them here on Facebook. So you can go there and look. All right, so this is for you, for your Scorpio moon reading. So this is your emotions. So the Seven of Pentacles, which is the fall. So I used to call this one, for those of you that don't know, this used to be my relationship spread, but it's kind of hard to do a relationship spread for an entire demographic of people when we have such different astrological charts with rising moon, etc. So this is your moon reading for Scorpio. Think and feel emotions. And what I'm seeing for Scorpio right now is stubbornness. So there's a little bit of arrogance within you right now where you're feeling as if you don't want to admit, you don't want to start over. And there's the Moon card, which tells us there's, again, the Moon card is your congruent card between your general spread and your moon reading. So that's a little bit of fear. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a healthy amount of fear, especially when you're trying to recalibrate. Because when you're recalibrating, it's like knowing you're off, and even just making the decision to recalibrate kind of brings the universe some tools for you. We do have the Fool card, which is opportunity and crossroads. So as you're sitting here trying to decide what your steps are to take next, you also have the Magician card. So the Magician card is literally magic. It's where you find your magic. The Magician card is all about having this, this sensation of it's go time. Like you might have this, it's ready to go, and you know, they haven't thrown the flag or lifted the gate yet. So you might start feeling as if you have this incredible energy to move forward and you're still feeling kind of stopped. The thing that's best for Scorpio right now, not best, but the thing that's on your brain right now so much is judgment and drama. You're carrying the burden of a lot of judgment and drama. So there's the Justice card. So somebody's passing judgment. Eight of Swords, which is drama. And then we have the Burden card right here, which is 10 of Wands. And if you notice, this guy's literally carrying shit on his shoulders. And it's way too hard to bear, but he's trying to do the right thing and carry along. Anyways, so for you, I'm also seeing some interesting cards. That you have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is the indicator that someone's walking away from a situation that's not serving them. Now, for some of us, I call this when the fat lady sings, you know, in opera, it ain't over till it's over kind of thing. But she's walking away. She's got her little violin and she's deuced out, okay? But here's what I see for Scorpio. Scorpio's going through emotional upheaval, not good, not bad, just emotions, overwhelming, okay? And then we have these stubborn moments where you're in resistance. So what is my best advice for when you're feeling this resistance, when you're feeling this anger? What you resist persists. So in fact, the more you resist, the more these lessons come up. And I've had this incredible awareness lately. I love it. And however, it's frustrating. You know, if anybody out there reads the scripture or studies some deep knowledge and then they go back and something sounds completely different because the parable changed, or if there's, you know, a deeper understanding to the story, so fisher of men kind of thing. But I recently heard somebody talking about mirrors and how the universe was a mirror. I didn't identify with that. And I actually kind of resented the fact that people would put out this little belief system that says that there is a mirror within me that's causing me to reflect all this shit that's going on in my life. Like, I'm not an abusive asshole, so why am I getting abusive assholes, right? So I finally had this awareness recently that kind of brought me to this mind frame to realize that the world is a mirror of your belief system. If you believe in scarcity, or if you believe the universe isn't going to deliver what you want, it's going to do just that. So when you're in resistance to change, you're stubborn, you're going to start seeing even more resistance and more problems. Counterintuitive, I get it. However, I promise you, if you just surrender and let go, and the practice of non-attachment, which is hoping for the best, knowing what the worst is, like, it's not just running around with positive thinking isn't useful, because what's true is platitudes are useless without the work. And it's very awkward. Like, for some of us that are our credit all shit sideways, and we don't want to look at it because we just know it's going to be terrible. But the first step is awareness. So the fact that you have this awareness and wanting to move forward is huge, because that begins the shift. It's going to constantly be on your brain. So counterintuitive to that, I also see the Lover's card. So there's a lot of divine masculine, divine feminine balance pull, this tango that's going on for you. But as we have the Hierophant, it's you resisting. So try not to resist. Like I say, if you get shoved off a cliff into a river, you can either scream on the way down or take in the view and see where the river takes you. I mean, you're going down in the water anyway. Just kind of feel like you can choose the journey and how you enjoy it. You can scream on the roller coaster, or you can puke off the side. Just reframe that shit. So let's pull a card for you from the Divination of the Ancients, and see what your wrap up is. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. For those of you that want in the tarot class, I am starting a new one. So jump on that. I have spots for about 8 more people in that one. So hit me up on that. And here we go, Scorpio. Holy shit. So I find it extremely interesting that I use the mirror analogy, and you got the scrying mirror right here. So I would suggest you just go back a little bit and listen to my analogy about the mirror. Just remember, that's pretty cool. Wow. So mirror, your belief system, not you as a person. Like, it's not you being rewarded for good deeds. It's not you being a good person and other good people showing up. What it has to do with your belief system. So if you secretly think that everybody's sneaky, then you're going to probably find some duplicity in your life. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm going to try and get 2 more done today, and I'm also going to be producing some videos for the tarot class. Love and light, guys. Catch you on the flip side.